Monitoring your video is an incredibly important step. If you don't know what you're shooting, you don't know what you're getting. So today we're going to show you different options for monitoring video on your HDSLR. Hey, I don't remember a good tagline. I didn't come up with a good tagline.
This episode is made possible by CPM Film Tools, your lightweight solution for caging the beast. LCD Viewfinder, the essential accessory for DSLR video. Lightcraft Workshop, the perfect tools to create the perfect image. Manhattan LCD, the affordable solution for high-definition monitoring. GZCam.com, your source for gear reviews, do-it-yourself video, and photography projects.
Hi, this is Tony Reale from NextWaveDV.com. We're going to be showing you some really great options for different forms of monitoring your video output of your HDSLR. Obviously, the important factors of seeing correct video of what you're recording, you'll be able to see what your composition is, you can see what your exposure is, you can make sure that your focus is set. There's many factors that you need to know to get correct monitoring of your video. There's a couple different methods that you can choose to do when doing video on your HDSLR. Now, most HDSLRs do not have a screen that pops out and swivels around, an articulating screen. Some do, and so that's great, but most of them do not, and so you're limited with the fixed angle of the screen. So if you're trying to go low, if you're trying to go high, you're not able to see that. So having an external monitor on your camera is a really important step. There are different sizes that you can get. You can get a 10-inch, you can get a 7-inch. This is some of the newer ones coming out specifically for HDSLRs, which is a 5.6-inch model. This is very popular now because not only does it attach to a rig, but you can also use it right on top of your camera without having to worry about it being too unwieldy for the camera. All right, here we have a Manhattan LCD HD5. This is a brand new model that just came out from Manhattan LCD, and we want to thank them for sending it in to us to try out for this series. This is actually one of the great features about this, besides being a 5.6-inch screen, is that it also has a really high resolution. It's 1280 by 800 pixels, which is just fantastic. The pixel density is just amazing, and it allows you to see a lot of detail when recording and playing back your video. Now we have the live view enabled on the back of our 5D right here. I'm going to go ahead and plug in the HDMI, and you're going to see right away that the camera no longer is displaying anything on it. Everything switches to your HDMI. So this is something to realize, that you can't monitor on the back of your screen at the same time you have another monitor in. If you need to have two monitors running, you're going to have to get an HDMI splitter and run that off of batteries. So now we have our image shown on here. Now the Manhattan LCD has a great feature, which is autofill, and it automatically fills the screen with whatever resolution is being sent to it. One of the problems the 5D has is when you hit the record button, it'll drop off, switch to standard definition, and then you're going to have, typically you would have a smaller sized image on there because it's in standard def. The Manhattan LCD compensates by this by autofilling it with the screen. Now your aspect ratio is a little off, but overall you're still able to set your focus, know your exposure, and know your composition on here as well. All right, another feature that having an external monitor allows you to do is position the monitor wherever that you want it. They make articulating arms like this where you can pretty much position the monitor in whatever angle that's convenient for you. Say you want to be able to operate the monitor right here. Say you want to have it pointing the opposite direction. Whichever way that you want it, having an external monitor allows you to get away from having the LCD in that fixed position on the back. All right, having a Pro monitor, besides the fact that you're going to have a larger display, having the ability to move the screen around, there's also additional features in professional monitors that can make your life a lot easier when operating your camera. A feature called false color allows you to basically know how your exposure is set. It'll show you a correct coloring when the exposure is set where skin tones are supposed to be. So instead of seeing your normal coloration of your monitor, it's going to show you this odd spectrum of color, and you know that if your skin tones are showing pink or whatever the false color happens to be for that monitor, that your skin tones are set at the correct level. Another feature is peaking, which basically it's like a sharpening filter that increases the detail and everything so that you're able to finally focus your shots and know what is in focus and what isn't. And on top of that, there's another feature called Focus Assist, which actually highlights all things that are in focus in the scene. So using all those features in conjunction, you can set correct exposure and get your focus correct without having to have additional tools on set. All right, one of the first accessories you should probably get for your HDSLR is a hood loop. These are also called magnifiers, LCD magnifiers. Whatever brand that you get, Zacuto makes one. This is an LCD viewfinder. It's one of the most affordable ones out there, but it doesn't have a diopter. So if you wear glasses, you might want to look at some of the Zacuto brand ones. But at the end of the day, what it simply does is it magnifies the screen and allows you to see your LCD screen closer. It also allows your eye to physically focus at the LCD screen just a few inches away from your face. If you think about it, if you actually put this LCD screen in front of your eye, you may not be able to focus your eyes on the screen. So this allows you to not only magnify the screen, but it also allows you to see the image a lot closer. The other added benefit is it adds stability to your shots, because when you put this LCD screen on and you hold the camera with your right hand, your left hand, and it up against your eye, you're basically allowing yourself to have 3 points of contact instead of your standard 2 away from your body. So this allows you to do critical focus. It allows you to have more stability for handheld shots, and overall it makes life a lot easier when shooting video. Now, one of the great features of Canon cameras is the ability to use the EOS utility software that comes with it and monitor your shooting from a laptop. Now, there's a couple advantages that you get from this. First of all, obviously you're monitoring it. Second of all, you're able to actually, the LCD screen stays on when you're monitoring on your laptop. So when we showed you before where the monitor was unable to, when the screen wasn't on when we hooked up an HDMI monitor, on the other hand, you were able to, when you use a laptop, you're able to still see the signal out of it. One of the big factors too is if you're using a Canon lens or a lens that is able to interface with the camera electronically, you are still able to use the controls of the camera on the laptop. So you can change your white balance, your f-stop, your focus even, all from the camera. Now, this is really convenient if you need to shove your camera up against the wall, or if you're doing an in-car shot and you can't physically be behind the camera. Any situation where the camera's in an odd location, you can't physically be behind it, you can still operate your camera from your laptop. If you'd like to find more information about this, we have done an entire video about this demonstrating it, which you can check out on our website at nextwavedv.com. All right, one really awesome feature with Canon cameras is the ability to use the on-screen magnifier to set your focus. Now, this isn't something you can do when the camera's recording, but between takes you can zoom in and set your focus. So what we're going to do here is just set the press the magnifier screen in, and now we're at 5x magnification, and we can now set our focus and do critical focus. We could even do 10x and make sure that that is completely in focus, and pressing it one more time zooms out all the way. So now we are able to have great focus, and if this is a locked off shot, great, everything's in focus. If you need to do some movement, this is where it would be great to set your in and out points of your follow focus. And again, we're going to talk about follow focuses later on for helping you set your focus. But this is just a really great way of setting your in and out points, setting a locked off shot, everything really quickly. If you don't have a monitor set up, you can just do this right in the camera. All right, now it's important to remember that when using your HDSLR, most of them do not allow you to use the built-in viewfinder of your camera for shooting video. So you have to use your LCD screen or some of the other monitoring options that we've shown you. We hope that's helped you a lot and that you can be able to get some great shots and be able to see what you're shooting. If you'd like to see more episodes of HDSLR 101, check out our website, nextwavedv.com. We're continuing to release these episodes every other week, but if you want to see it all at one time, you can go onto our website, click on the product section, and go and download HDSLR 101 for only $20. This helps continue to support some of the other free videos that we have out there, such as our Next Wave TV, our gear reviews, our Cinetips, all these great other series. So really appreciate it when you check that out and some of our other products as well. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.